Hello Tribuners, back again with me Nazela Azahra in the JOS News program. Radityo Dharmaputra, lecturer at the Department of International Relations, University of Airlangga, hopes that the Indonesian government will actively build solidarity with non-Western countries by asking Russia to stop attacks on Ukraine. The non-Western countries referred by Radityo include South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Brazil, India, Mexico, South Korea, China, and Turkey. The G20 summit, which will be held in Bali on November 15 until 16, could be a momentum for Indonesia to build solidarity. The doctoral student at Tartu University, Estonia, said after the focus pressure groups encouraged Russia to take peaceful action, only then Indonesia and these countries can hold a peace forum as a part of the negotiations. Without it, he continued all efforts and agreements reached would only be a mere ceremonial part because they did not target the main cause of the current world economic and food crisis, namely the Russian war in Ukraine. According to Radityo, the failure to promote peace efforts to the world's economic condition will soon make the relevance of the G20 questionable. Moreover, if no important agreement is produced, it will raise the question of why the G20 was formed. He gave an example that before the G20 summit, which ended without a collective agreement, even a deadlock was very likely to occur. One of them is the issue of carbon trading, which so far has not reached a point of agreement. Likewise, the meeting of finance ministers and central bank, namely the fourth finance ministers and central bank governors meeting in Washington, D.C., United States at the beginning of last October had to end without a mutual agreement due to the Russia versus Ukraine war. Indonesia is known to host the G20 presidency in 2022. The theme of this year's G20 summit is Recover Together, Recover Stronger, with three main focuses, namely global health architecture, sustainable energy transition, and digital transformation. The G20 is a multilateral cooperation forum consisting of 19 major countries and the European Union. G20 representation more than 60% of the world's population, 75% of global trade, and 80% of the world's gross domestic product. The G20 members consist of the South Africa, the United States, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, India, Indonesia, United Kingdom, Italy, Japan, Germany, Canada, Mexico, Republic of Korea, Russia, France, China, Turkey, and the European Union. Former Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Ukraine, Yudi Krisnandi, in his tweet on the social media platform Twitter, said that there is no more important agenda for the G20 summit than stop Russia's war in Ukraine. The ambassador, who served in Kyiv for 4.5 years, recalled that after a visit of the Indonesian President Joko Widodo to Ukraine on June 30, what concrete assistance had been provided by the Indonesian government to Ukraine. He stressed Russia's military invasion of Ukraine's sovereign territory has entered its 9th month. Indonesia should not be silent and do it for humanity. That's the news for today. See you in the next actual news. Great thanks, Tribun.